to the beach.
Back to the beach, baby.
Because that to me was the realest scene. That was the only time I felt like I didn't notice the cameras because they were so far back. We were sitting on top of my car, and that was us. That was a real rep, as long as it's not Lauren Conrad.
We did not like each other. It was a really weird thing we went through.
Flowers, I can't say I purchased those. Those, of course, were purchased by MTV.
20 years later, Laguna Beach is back in the headlines, but now the biggest drama is not who dated who, it's what the cast is finally admitting about how the show was made. With the reunion now out on Roku, Lauren Conrad, Kristin Cavallari, and Stephen Colletti are revisiting the scenes that defined an era and revealing which moments were truly real, which ones MTV helped shape, and why fans may have remembered some storylines all wrong.
Flowers, I can't say I purchased those. Those, of course, were purchased by MTV.
Wait, don't tell her that!
What if you bring Lauren some flowers for her birthday to apologize?
Oh.
So we talked about that, and then eventually we moved on to talking about Valentine's Day, and then what do they cut? They cut that. So.
Oh.
Start with one of the show's most iconic romantic gestures, Stephen's Valentine's flowers. For years, that scene played like classic early 2000s teen heartbreak. But now Stephen says he did not even buy the flowers. MTV did. That does not mean the feelings were fake. It means production understood exactly how to heighten the moment, turning teenage confusion into a perfectly packaged symbol of the love triangle.
You view it now. You know, I can only take responsibility for myself and how I played into that. I think that, of course, the producers, really enhanced the story. They had learned about some things that had happened and really wanted to try to recreate that. They took their liberties. But of course, I made some decisions back in the day that I'm not proud of, and we've had a lot of growth since then. So.
And that same producer push may have shaped the entire triangle. Lauren says the cast did not realize producers were going to pin them against each other in that way. Stephen goes even further, saying the show made it look like he and Lauren were openly having an affair, when he insists that was not what was happening. So the people were real, the relationships were real, but the framing was built for maximum drama.
That was real. I'm not gonna say pretty real. That was very real. And that was one of those moments that I always sort of cringed at until I watched it back. And then I actually watched it and I was like, okay, you know what? I was actually proud of myself for how I reacted as an intoxicated 17-year-old. I mean, we weren't together. It wasn't like I was blatantly cheating on Stephen in front of him.
But not everything was producer magic. When the conversation turns to Cabo, Kristin is direct. That moment was very real. And that matters because it shows what made Laguna Beach work in the first place. It was not fully scripted television. It was messy, teenage emotion captured inside a reality TV machine. Even when editing shaped the story later, some of the pain, jealousy, and bad decisions were absolutely happening in real time.
I don't want it. You know me, Alfie. That sucks. I love you. I love you.
Wow. God, I feel uncomfortable.
Babies.
I feel like
That's my
I think
favorite
we both
scene.
dropping. That's your favorite
That's
scene?
my favorite from the whole series because that to me was the realest scene. That was the only time I felt like I didn't notice the cameras because they were so far back. We were sitting on top of my car, and that was us.
And then there's the scene fans never stop talking about, Kristin and Stephen on top of the car. Kristin now calls it the realest moment in the entire series. No obvious setup, no producer-supplied prop, no giant performance, just two teenagers in a relationship that was genuinely falling apart. If the flowers were TV polish, this scene was the version of Laguna Beach fans thought they were watching all along.
I don't think any of us realized that they were going to pin us against each other in that way. And obviously we started noticing oh, okay, this is the storyline. When we were living our lives, it never felt like you against me, but that was clearly something that came out of the show. Shirts were made.
It was the real Orange County with a little sprinkle on little asterisk. Yeah, it's produced for television. When they're not able to, which has probably worked out in their favor, to capture those confessionals and having us speak to camera.
And maybe that is the real truth about Laguna Beach. Not fully fake, not fully raw, but real life with a producer's polish. So which reveal surprised you most? The flowers, Cabo, or the car top conversation?